Okay, welcome, this is JDS, Sport Talks video. Today we're going to talk about quite a few things. Rioli, the whole situation with him, Messi possibly finishing his career at Inter Miami, AFLW going to a full AFL size league, so 18 teams instead of 15 or whatever they were before. And what was the third thing? Oh, just soccer in general, England, Man United being played way too much over the last week. We'll get to that. Actually, we can be our first story. So, last night, 4-2 loss from Man U against my team, Liverpool. And they never really had much hope. Not because we're supremely better than them. Like, you look at the table this year, we have not been anything special. Except for the start. But more because they played 4 games in a week. Which our manager, by our, I mean Liverpool, Klopp, had expressed his, concerns about how stupid that was. He said it was a crime to play Man United 4 EPL games in a week, which it is. They've had injuries from it, I believe. Solskjaer has said stuff. I've got a thing here. Apparently Keane lost his shit after the game. I don't really watch the games. I don't know. I just watch highlights because it's not broadcasted in Australia without having to buy Optus Sport, which stuff that. So yeah, there is an article there about Keane apparently he was in tears. What? Keane tears into United in astonishing rant after defeat by Liverpool. That's the title. And then there was also something about Solskjaer being worried about the title, Solskjaer worried about defence as Liverpool exposed Man United's set-piece frailties. But they looked pretty. It didn't look like a 4-2 win from when I saw the highlights. It looked fairly close. From what I saw, they looked pretty threatening at times. Obviously, we were more threatening. We scored 4, they scored 2. And one of theirs was an own goal. But I guess that's what happens when you play 3 games in a fucking week. So yeah, I don't think it's too much to say about Man U saying that whatever they're saying, set-piece frailties. Like, yes, they did, I think, concede 2 of their goals from set pieces. But they would have been exhausted, especially by the last goal at the end of the game. They would have been exhausted. And from the photo here, it looks like Fernandez got injured. Is that his name? Fernandez? You know what I mean, the guy who's doing all the work for him. Anyway, moving on to Rioli. Actually, continuing on topic, I'll go over to Lionel Messi's thing. I couldn't find. I'm just fixing my chair. I couldn't find the original article I was going to use. Because I was thinking about doing the Lionel Messi video as its own video a few days ago, and I never ended up doing it. And yesterday I actually closed I had it open in the browser, and I closed the browser because I decided I'd give up on the video. When I made this one now, I thought, well, I may as well talk about that quickly. But I have found another link. I don't know how good it is. I've not read through this one, and I'm not going to bother because I'm just going to talk about what I know about it. So Messi has apparently said that he sees himself playing 2 more years at the top level, and then moving from what people, as far as I can see, are assuming is Inter Miami, purely because of the fact, which is a pretty good guess, I reckon, because of the fact that he's bought a 7.5 million penthouse apartment in Miami. Which I think is a pretty good guess to say, well, that's where he's going to leave to. I think he should stay longer. I mean, he's going to be in 2 years' time, unless he has a dramatic fall in form, he's going to be way too good for the MLS, and it's going to make Ibrahimovic's domination of that league look like bloody nothing. So I think he needs to 4 more years, then go to the MLS, around the same age as what seems to be, well, apparently Ronaldo's mum's trying to convince him to go back to Sporting. Which, I don't know, I think he's got 100 goals, plus personally got 100 goals at Juventus. So I don't see why he should be moving yet either. I think they've both still got years, Messi a bit more years in them, because he's younger. But they've both got years in them at the top level. Whether they want to play that long and top level, it's up to them, obviously, it's their career. But I don't think it's just a waste of another few good years of a Messi-Ronaldo battle at the top level. And once they drop over to the lower level, it's not going to be the same. Like, yes, they'll score ridiculous amounts of goals probably in those leagues, and boost their stats. Messi more so because he will be in an easier league than the Portuguese league that Ronaldo would be in. But I think it is too early, and I don't know how trustworthy the sources are, but everyone seems to be a pretty unanimous story over lots of different websites back a few days when I was looking at for Messi. It seemed to be a pretty unanimous thing that that's what's going to happen. Even though I've not looked at it recently, but I've not seen a statement from Messi at any point apart from maybe the 2 years at the top level. Now let's go to AFLW. So AFLW has added 4 more clubs, so it would have been 14 clubs before. They have now become a full-size AFL-size league. There's no longer the 14 clubs, it's now the full 18. And before I get into the story, congratulations to Brisbane Lions for winning the premiership a couple of weeks back. Probably a month or so back now, actually. Absolutely destroying the Crows in the grand final. But with the expansion of the league, it's good to see that it's now a full league. It's not sort of like before it was, I felt the fact that it was sort of like a half league, it was a bit more looked at as like, or this, that people didn't really care about. Personally, I don't really care. I find the women's game a bit boring, a bit slow. It's like watching an under 10s, a year 10s game of footy. The skills are a bit dodgy, kicks sort of don't go where they want to go, it's a bit slow, it's a bit scrappy. I don't find it that entertaining, and it's very low scoring. But so that's why I personally don't watch it that much. I watched the grand final, but my only concern with going to the full size is the same reason that the A-League is smaller. And that's because will there be enough money in it? That's the same reason that I've always said the calls of AFLW players being paid the same as AFL players as ridiculous is because there's not as much money coming in. Even though now there is a lot more money compared to what there was, it's still a fair leap from what the AFL is. And I mean, it's a big jump from what they had 5,000 at the grand final. So I think it was something like, I don't remember what the recent one was, but I think it was 2 years ago, it was 30,000, so that's a big jump, and they could have jumped the same amount for all I know. I've not really kept up with the stats, so I can't really talk about it. But my point at the moment is, the reason A-League is not getting bigger, well, it is a little bit now, but the reason they weren't growing is because there wasn't enough money in the league. And it was kind of like the Germans did, weird comparison, but kind of like the Germans did in World War II, they spread themselves too thin. And it just doesn't work, there's not enough money there. So you just I don't want to... It's scary to see if they don't have enough money and what will happen if they spread themselves too thin. Clubs will start falling in. I don't know if they will. As I said, I don't know how much money there is in the AFLW. Hopefully it can stay together and can go on forever, as long as humans exist. I want to see the AFLW grow and be more of a sport that I will want to watch. Because I watch a game and I get a bit bored. That's not going to happen from growing the league, more growing the skills. But this is a great start. And I think it's obviously the eventual what you want to do. You want to have a full 18-team league, just like the AFL. So every AFL club now has an AFLW team. I'm going to move on to the Willie Rioli story now, which is the main story. So as we would all know, a few days ago, Willie Rioli, just before his court case, came out to the Eagles, or however it leaked, that he has been arrested for possession of weed before coming back from his drug scandal thing where he put Gatorade in a drug test before the 2018 grand final. He wasn't taking any performance-enhancing drugs, he was only had weed in his system, and that's why I assume he did it. And he's been caught with weed again, but AFL's come out and said they're going to, not protect him, they're going to, help him get through the process, whatever the word is, back him. Can't think of the word, I don't know why. But the AFL has said they're going to. Luke Shuey, Eagles captain, has said he's going to push him and help him through the process. I think Eagles will hold on to him. Whether we should or shouldn't, I don't know. I think if we released him, a team will pick him up anyway. But we have had a reputation in the past of having druggies in our team, and we've got rid of that over recent years. And having it come back isn't a good thing, really. Like, I don't know whether I'm in two minds whether we should or shouldn't keep him. I like him as a person, but he's done stupid things time and time again, and we've seen it, and more of them and Richmond who have done the same sort of thing. 2 guys, it was Butler who broke his hand and someone else got into a bar fight with 2 Richmond players. I don't know what's happened with them when it comes to, I've not really seen that, I just heard it happen, not really looked into the story, I'm not going to talk much about it. I don't know what their punishments are going to be or what talk is, but I think it was like a bar fight or something, and both of them, I'm assuming they will be suspended. I'm assuming they will be suspended. It doesn't seem like there's going to be any suspension for Rioli for this. So as far as I know, he's coming back in August, I think it was still, August 25th or something, where he's coming back, whatever, I think that's when it was. And when he appeared in court, he did plead guilty, which I think was the best, because he was guilty. I think it definitely was the best plea to give. And I think Eagles will keep him. I'm interested to see when he does come back, whether he'll be at the same standard he was when he got kicked out. Now, as always with my videos, links will all be in the description. I have 2 links for Rioli, 2 for the Man U, 1 for the AFLW, and 1 for Lionel Messi's story. And nothing. Oh, I can find the link for the Ronaldo thing for you, actually. So there'll be something for Ronaldo in there as well. I just really want Rioli to... Willie, he just needs to... I don't even know what I want to say. He just needs to pull his head in. You're such a good player. Do not waste that. And we need some players back in the team. Eagles are a bit ropes at the moment. We're somehow still winning. We're in our best form of the year. And we've got God knows how many injuries. We have no backline. All our main defenders are injured. Duggan, Shepherd, McGovern. Shepherd? Actually, Shepherd might be fine. But at least Duggan, McGovern, Hearn, Barras. I think Cole was injured. I don't know, someone else was injured. I forgot who it was. But yeah, so we're pretty down on players. And we've got major midfielders injured. Like we've got... if you want to hear about who got injured, go with my last video, my last Sport Talks. It will probably be in the end screen or the eye or both. I've been waffling for too long now. It's been JDS. Thanks, bye. See you next time. See ya.